Hello, everybody. Melinda Pollen with Brown County 4-H. Today, we're coming with our next do at home activity, our Thursdays transformation days, where we'll be transforming regular household items into something that can teach us a little bit about science, technology, engineering, and math. This week's challenge is creative catapults. Who doesn't love the idea of catapults? And I'm really excited again this week to be joined by my colleague and friend from Door County, Dawn VandeVoort, who's the Door County 4-H development educator.
Hello, I'm excited to be with you today.
And Dawn and I today are going to talk with you a little bit about creative catapults and how we make them. So I'm going to turn it over to Dawn to talk a little bit about what a catapult is.
Awesome. So on your screen, you'll see this is an example of a catapult, and these were simple machines that have been used for ages, way back. Catapults are kind of a neat object that people built or created so that they could defend themselves, defend a castle, defend a house. Uh, they're used to move things, to help you move heavy objects, usually like rocks or large boulders, help moving things from A to B. But it's a simple machine that people would build. Um, the really cool part about catapults is they're a machine that also includes science. And so there's lots of physics and lots of learning to do with catapults. And it helps you think about energy and how energy is stored up and how energy is used. So in our catapults, you'll see here on the screen, there's an example of what we're going to build today. And there's two pieces. There's potential energy and kinetic energy. And so potential energy is all of the energy that gets stored up. So as your catapult kind of pulls back or springs back, like you'll see there on the right-hand side, that's potential energy. It's storing up that energy and getting ready to expend it. And so once you're ready to move your item, whatever is in your bucket or your spoon there, when it gets ready to move, it expels all that energy and that turns into kinetic energy, the energy where it's moving.
The other thing that I think is so interesting when we talk about energy is the whole idea of Newton's rules of energy, that an object at rest stays at rest until you make it move. And so resting energy is your potential energy, and energy that's moving is our kinetic energy. What makes things move through when a force acts upon an item, that's what makes it move, and that's what gives it its energy. And that is just, this is the perfect way for us to see that through making a really super simple machine, a catapult in our own backyards. So let's talk, what we're going to do today really is design engineer our own catapults. And on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see the design engineering process where we gather information, we develop solutions, we make prototypes, we test them, and we improve them. We just got a bunch of information about what a catapult was and the ideas of energy from Dawn. Now our challenge is going to be developing solutions and making a prototype. And then the fun part comes to test that prototype and improve it over time. We'll give you a couple of challenges to do with your prototype as well. In 4-H, we do the engineering process the same way, but in 3 steps. It's a do, a reflect, and an apply section. So we're going to do something, we'll reflect on it, and we'll apply it the next time. You might have seen this in some of the other challenges that we've been releasing as well. The idea is that we're going to get our hands involved in building something. And Dawn's going to talk us through how to do that with the supplies that are on the screen. All you need for this activity: craft sticks, 6 to 12 of them. You'll need just 7 of them actually to get started, but more or less as we get into our testing round. Some rubber bands, a spoon is not on the list, but you'll also need a spoon and some cotton balls. That's really all you'll need here. And Dawn, why don't you talk us through how we build this catapult?
Awesome. So to get started building, you're going to need 2 of your craft sticks. And so you'll stack them on top of each other like you see here, and then you wrap a rubber band around the one end of those. So just towards one end of the craft sticks. You'll just stack them and rubber band them, and then set those aside. Then you need 5 craft sticks. And so like Melinda said, this is the base model. You start off with 5 craft sticks with your catapult, and then we'll test it, and you may need to add more or you may not, but start with 5, and again, stack them up on top of one another, and then you'll need 2 rubber bands. You'll wrap a rubber band around one end of the sticks and then around the other end of the sticks, so it'll look like they're on the bottom right. Now, your 2 craft sticks that you did in the first step, you're going to take those, like it shows here on the left-hand side of the screen, and gently pull them apart from that unrubber banded end. And then you're going to put the stack of 5 craft sticks in between there. So wedge those right in between those 2 craft sticks, just like it shows on the right-hand side. And you might need a couple extra helper hands with that one. Then you're going to take one rubber band and crisscross the rubber bands around the point where the V of your craft sticks and the 5 crisscross your rubber band there to hold those pieces together. And pro tip, this is a tricky part. So this one you might need extra hands and help with and a little extra patience because it could be a little challenging. But to secure those 2 pieces together, that's what you're doing here. Now you're going to add one more rubber band to that top craft stick. So where you had the 2 craft sticks in that V, you're going to put a rubber band on the top one, just like it shows here on the left-hand side with the red arrow. So put your rubber band around that end of the single craft stick. And then you're going to stick the bottom part of a spoon, the handle part of the spoon, under that rubber band, like you'll see in the middle on the bottom there. You'll slide that end underneath the rubber band. And then push your spoon all the way down like it shows on the right-hand side. Get that spoon nice and secured onto that one craft stick.
And now the
And
fun part comes. You just get to now you get to
exactly.
play. And so now we want you to put that cotton ball on top of that spoon, hold down the end and fling it up into the air. Now in my house we didn't have cotton balls. Maybe you don't either. But what we did have is an infinite supply of yarn. So I created a little ball of yarn, and that's what we were able to test instead of a cotton ball.
So as you're testing, you can also use other things, use what you have around the house. You can use if you have, an M&M or cereal or jelly beans, anything like that that's soft, that won't break something if it hits it, won't hurt others if you hit someone accidentally with it. But do a test, test out what that is like with your spoon and flinging whatever item you're putting into that bucket. Things to consider though as you're trying this out. So do you have different weights of projectiles? So kind of see how far a cotton ball will fly versus maybe a jelly bean. Test it out, see which one you think might go farther. Do a test to see how far you can get something to go. So this is a great opportunity for you to challenge a sibling or a parent or guardian, anybody who's around. Set up a contest, make it fun, like see how far you can get your item to fly. So measure it out and see. Try getting your projectile into a cup or a bowl, like make it an accuracy challenge, trying to aim for something and see how far you can get it to go and if you can get it to go into that cup or bowl. Another piece, you can look at the engineering, look at the building that you have. So you started off with 5 craft sticks on your base. What happens if you add another one? What happens if you add 2 more? So if you get to 6 or 7 craft sticks on your base, what does that look like? And how does that change how your items fly, how they move? Set up a Dixie cup pyramid or a tower of cups. Try to knock things down with your projectile. See how that works. And if you're able to, knock down 1 cup or 2, also setting up a contest there. And get creative and create your own kind of challenge. Make it fun and see what you can come up with. So it's a really great way to learn the science behind energy, but also have a little fun with it and make it a contest.
So when you've finished, we're just like with all of our other challenges, we're asking you to take a photo of your creation, maybe a video. We took a video in our house, just a really quick 3-second video of the projectile flying across the room, and share that on any social media platforms that you use, using the hashtags WI4H and hashtag Inspire Kids to Do. Again, that helps us to create a community of other catapulters out there that might be trying some new engineering principles, learning a little bit about engineering and having some fun while you do it. Again, let us know if you have questions, if you need supplies, or we can do anything to help you learn at home. Dawn and I and a whole other slew of people are here to help you should you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to us on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you have fun building your own catapults. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks.